Alright, what's up ladies and gentlemen, it's Super here and welcome back to another Mortal Kombat 1 video. So, I get asked a lot, who are your favorite cameos in MK1, who should I be using, who's easy to pick up, and works with the majority of the cast. My two favorite cameos pretty much work with anyone on the roster. You could pick any character and these cameos will make those characters better. And of course, I'm talking about Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Of course, two of the poster boys, or the poster boys of Mortal Kombat, have to be some of the best cameos and people's favorite cameos. There's a reason why you see a lot of Scorpions out there, a lot of Sub-Zeros out there, because these characters have amazing utility and combo extensions. So let's get started here. Before anything, I just want to say thank you all for the love and support on the videos. Make sure you guys leave a like rating on this one. It's always appreciated. So for me, Scorpion is actually my favorite cameo because I love combos. I love, thinking about something and then having it work in training mode. And Scorpion makes that really easy. When I was picking up Baraka, obviously, it was before Cyrax got nerfed, so people were just using Baraka Cyrax. I didn't want to use it, not because I have any dignity, because trust me, if I was like a competitive player and I wanted to win, I would use all the broken shit without a flinch. I would just pick top tier without a flinch. It was just, I felt like you could create some really cool looking combos with Baraka, and obviously you guys have seen some of my Baraka videos. I think they look pretty cool. And then Rain over here with Sub-Zero, having the ability to freeze the opponent long enough to get his charged up projectile to crumple them and then get a harder blockable situation. There's just so much utility with these characters that I love it. So obviously, like I mentioned, Scorpion is just a or a combo machine, right? You could use both his cameos. You could use a single one of his cameos. Things are a little bit different timing wise with Baraka. After the nerf I'm talking about. Actually, I'm just gonna do this one. That's the one that I normally do anyway. Oh, he fell a little bit backwards. Yeah, the timing is a little bit different here. It's alright, we'll get the job done though. There you go. So 2 cameos, 1 bar of meter. Obviously the damage is nerfed with Baraka, so that used to do 48%. Now it does 42%, more aligned with what every other character does. So it seems low because it seems low for Baraka compared to what he used to do, but in reality most characters are going to be getting, about 42-43% with 1 bar, excluding Melina, which still gets about 50% with 1 bar. But I don't know, man, just the fact that you could extend your combo at any time with Scorpion compared to any other character is just really, really cool. I think Scorpion gives you the most freedom in this game to come up with like the coolest looking combos that you possibly can. Oh, I fucked up right there. But I think Scorpion gives you the most freedom to come up with any combos, like I said, compared to any other characters. And it all has to do, obviously, with his up flame. You call it depending on what part of the screen you're at. I remember when I first picked up the game, one of the first characters, maybe the first character that I picked up was Natara because of her fly on fly stuff. And Scorpion was the cameo that I picked because, right from the start, you could tell that this character is going to be a combo monster. And pretty much if you're trying to get some really flashy combos, Scorpion is going to be the way to go. You could always throw in his overhead, obviously, which I don't do as much, to be honest, because it's punishable. But if you do hit your opponent with it, obviously it's gonna be good, because then you'll get a free launcher. If you're Baraka, for example, you're gonna get something like that. Obviously, any character gets free combos and meterless launchers across the board. I don't use the overhead as much as I should. I'm gonna be honest. I really should use the overhead. It has really good range. and you're gonna be able to get it has really good range, so you're gonna be able to get combos. And one thing that I don't use as much that I should, even more so than the overhead, is this move right here. I feel like this move is pretty underrated, especially if you're someone who is a zoner. You're gonna want to use this move right here to get yourself full screen, start zoning again. I mean, even Baraka doesn't do that bad zoning wise, right? So whenever I'm close and I don't feel like, you know, maybe, or I feel like maybe my opponent's gonna armor or something. Here, let's see. I don't know if I don't know what the move is for him to do a reversal. Enhance water beam. No, it's not that. Is it this? Oh, okay. See, there you go. That's a perfect example right there. If your opponent is blowing up your combo strings, like Baraka now has a gap in between his 2-1, right? So because he has a gap between 2-1, if your opponent's blowing it up, you could actually use your Scorpion cameo to have him spend the bar of meter, and you're completely safe. I mean, you do take the damage. That being said, you do take the damage of getting hit by it, but you're pretty much back in neutral. And you're back in neutral, you're back full screen, you could zone people out. Or you could do something like that, you know, if your opponent is expecting that and he's just mashing on it, you could actually do something like that, and his move comes out because he's mashing it and he knows that there's a gap between there. His move is going to come out, and your Scorpion cameo is actually going to keep you safe and have him spend the bar of meters. So I think that Scorpion cameo is definitely useful. I don't use it enough as I should, to be honest with you guys, and I feel like you know, more people should be using it as well. Let me turn our block mode off, and there you go. Now let's talk a little bit about Sub-Zero. So like I mentioned, Scorpion, to me, he's just a combo machine, but he does have other utilities, as I demonstrated, including that spear, which I think is really good. I just, you know, you get so used to having Scorpion help you out with combos that you don't even think about the other moves most of the time. At least I do. Or I don't think about him as much because I love using his combo extensions. But Sub-Zero, man, this character is so good. Sub-Zero has so much utility, it's crazy. So first of all, he has a invincible move as a reversal. This right here, the shoulder charge, is invincible. You do have to, like, if your opponent's doing something that comes out really fast, Sub-Zero's slow charge, shoulder charge, is not really going to do much. But if you're dealing with someone like Smoke that has, like, you know, some slow attacks, you could actually use your cameo to interrupt a lot of what he's going to do. Same thing with Baraka now. If he's doing that, you can interrupt him at any time. That shoulder charge having invincibility is really good. Anytime you have a move like Kung Lao spin, and I think Sonya's leg grab as well, it just doesn't launch when your opponent gets hit with it. Some characters have invincibility frames on their cameo assists, and that's very useful to blow up some gaps in between combo strings. But obviously, the two bread and butter moves is, number one, I feel like this one really helps out a character like Rain, because Rain, you're gonna want to zone people out. You have multiple ways to zone people out, especially this move is really fast. You could just be like, keep on going with it. You have this, you also have your water bubble, just in case, you know, you want extra protection. Shout out, it's always good to have some extra protection. But you have your Typhoon right here, or your Whirlpool. And Rain just in general is a really good zoning character. So when you pair him up with this right here, which is Sub-Zero's projectile invulnerability move, you just make Rain even better when it comes to zoning. I remember I was playing a Garrus player, and a lot of Garrus' snap attacks count as projectiles, and I didn't have to worry about the up sand or any of his snaps, because everything was just covered by Sub-Zero's ice aura, and that matchup felt like a piece of cake. It felt so easy because I could just keep on doing this, and if my opponent tried to do anything that Garrus wanted to do as far as snaps and the ground stand, stuff like that, it wasn't gonna work. And I just had free reign, and I caught him so many times with my whirlpool because he was doing the snap while I had my ice aura active. This right here is so underrated when it comes to Sub-Zero's utility. It's crazy. You could go through Serena's cameo assist. You could go through Kung Lao's cameo assist. If you have it and someone does a combo string in a Kung Lao, you don't even need a block. You could just, if you know that your opponent's going to do it and you have your ice aura up, you could just start going into your combo string and it's going to like completely blow it up. So that move right there is really, really good. But obviously the bread and butter for Sub-Zero's is freeze, right? The reason for that is because you actually freeze your opponent for so long. It's crazy. Wait, how do you do the... Hold up. Oh, there you go. It feels like I haven't played Rain in a long time. I'm like, how do you do the launcher? But obviously the bread and butter, the thing that everyone could use is Sub-Zero's freeze. You guys see how long the opponent is frozen? I think the opponent is frozen for about 3 seconds, something like that. It's pretty crazy. That's why a lot of Kenshi players prefer to use Sub-Zero instead of Frost, because Sub-Zero actually freezes them in place. As you guys see, Sub-Zero freezes them in place, so you're very close to your opponent. Compared to Frost's low ice, it actually hits them and it has a hit reaction to your opponent, like sliding backwards a little bit. So it makes it harder to do some of Kenshi's conversion combos from Sento, because you're calling him in and it takes a little bit of time to call him in, and then your opponent, if they're further away, the timing might not be what you're used to, or they might just be too far away for you to combo, compared to, you know, someone like Sub-Zero here. Boom, you call in Sento from here, you get the stand 1, and then you go into whatever other attack you want. But obviously the freeze move is one of the best things about Sub-Zero, because you can freeze people in the air. That's supposed to be stand 1. You can freeze people in the air, and this allows a lot of different opportunities, especially for a character like Rain that has his meter burn projectile. It crumples the opponent, leaving many options for you to do, including combos. Like this. You could extend your combo. Look at that, 41%, you know, 1 bar of meter, exactly the way Baraka was. Actually, Baraka did a little bit more damage, so, you know, Baraka is pretty much doing on par now with every other character. But what you're gonna want to do most of the time is go for a harder block setup with Rain, because you have that option. You throw your whirlpool, then you go for your overhead low, boom. Hard to block setup if you have 2 assists. Look at all that damage you just did on Baraka because he didn't block properly and he didn't delay wake up to mess up the timing of your whirlpool. Like I said, there's counterplays to it. If your opponent does delay wake up, that setup is completely avoided. But if I know that you're gonna delay wake up, then all I have to do is just delay my setup, and it pretty much works the same. So keep that in mind as a Rain player. But I feel like Rain with Sub-Zero just grants Rain so many options. That's why I love using this specific team for like my main Rain team. It's always going to be with Sub-Zero, because I think it allows him to not only zone even better than he already does, but it allows him to do these hard to block setups, because you could freeze them in the air. And across the board, pretty much every character is going to benefit from Scorpion and Sub-Zero. So I just wanted to make this video because I have gotten asked so much who my favorite cameo is. Obviously, I've been getting asked who my favorite character is, and to be honest, it's been Scorpion for the longest time, because I just love his animations. I love the way he looks in this game. But I really don't have one character where I'm like, all right, that's my character. You guys know or that's my favorite character. In MK1, it was Spawn, my #1 favorite character. Like, automatically, I was like, all right, he has Soul Forfeit. He has these crazy-ass combos. That's my #1 character, my favorite character. For MKX, it was Ermac and Erm Black. They were like tied as my favorite characters, but they were like obvious. In this game, I really don't have like an obvious character where I'm like, that's my favorite character at the moment. But that doesn't mean that I don't like the roster. Actually, I love the roster. That's why it's so hard for me to like pick, all right, one character that I really love the most. I think if I had to, it's still gonna be Scorpion, because I think he looks amazing in this game. His skins are amazing. His gameplay is not the most fun because he doesn't have the most variety. A lot of his gameplay is going to be forward 3 and stand 2. That stand 2-1, forward 3-2. That's going to be a lot of your gameplay. But once you actually get people in combos, it doesn't really matter what cameo you use. You're going to be doing some really cool looking combos. He has some really cool looking brutalities. So Scorpion is still probably my favorite character out of all these. But as far as the cameos go, Sub-Zero and Scorpion by far are my favorites. They work with everybody. Scorpion works really well with Katana, Melina. I haven't played Tanya, I can't say. Sub-Zero works well with Rain. Sub-Zero works well with Smoke because he gets the projectile invincibility, and Smoke could go in, do his thing. Scorpion works well with Scorpion. Sub-Zero works well with Sub-Zero, allowing him to zone easier with his ice ball projectile clone. Scorpion works well with Reptile. Scorpion obviously works well with Lee May. Sub-Zero works well with Kenshi. Sub-Zero and Scorpion work really well with Baraka. I haven't really played Garrus. I haven't played this character, Shang Tsung. Scorpion work really well with General Shao. Sub-Zero too. Both of them work well with her. And the list goes on and on. Like those characters are like the top utility characters in my opinion. That's why they're my favorite. So that's it for today's video. Wanted to do something a little bit different. It's still kind of like tutorial type video, but it's more like people have been asking me who my favorite cameos are, or my favorite cameo individual. But I'm like, Scorpion for sure is my favorite individual cameo, but Sub-Zero's like right there behind him, like 1B. But the fact that Scorpion is allowed to extend your combos so much, he's my favorite cameo for sure. I love using, if I could use Scorpion with every character, I probably would. But there are some situations where Sub-Zero works better than Scorpion does. But that's it for me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.